Like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, but it looks like a revert of ZAC, some spicy Aatrox changes, and even some jungle changes will be coming to League post MSI. MSI is the mid-season invitational that takes place usually late April or in May of some point, so about next month. These changes will be coming afterwards. But with that being said, there's a post on the boards. I'm going to read it verbatim so you know the changes in case you can't get the link. I'll put the link in the description below, but if you're on mobile and it's difficult to read it because of the size or whatever, I got you. Here we go. Post MSI gameplay improvements. Hey y'all, Scruffy here giving an early look at some of the gameplay changes we're planning for patches 9.9 and 9.10. While we still have no plans for a formal mid-season patch, big disruptive changes that reshape the way you play League, we'll have a higher than usual amount of changes like the recent Urgot work, so these patches will be heftier than what you've seen in the first half of 2019. So it begins with system changes. Early jungle lane dependence. This one is here because we think we can target a common jungler pain point without a big amount of change. Philosophically, we like for junglers to participate in the wider game and have to take risks to succeed, but we want to solve the frustration point that early fights are too important and junglers feel overly reliant on laners' rotations to succeed. We're testing changes around scuttle mechanics and possibly other tactics to see if we can create less pressured level 2 fight or lose situations. Inspiration overuse as secondary. Inspiration is stifling a lot of other cool secondary rune tree options by bringing too much value. We are exploring some both nerfs there and also buffs to the other tree minor runes to make them have more splash appeal. Hunter's Potion. This item is a tempting option that currently is a trap because it's weak and additionally does not really add a lot of interest beyond a ton of sustain. We're experimenting with some small rework to make this usable and fun, but if we can't find any compelling spaces, we'll remove this item altogether. Wow, okay. Aftershock. Pretty simple goals here is to reduce the power of this rune on champions, not building tanky while keeping it good on tanks and bruisers. Lissandra. Now here's what you're probably here for, champion changes, but it starts with Blitzcrank. We'll be shipping the quality of life improvements you saw in the PvE recently, making Blitz's passive shield more consistent, removing the randomness from R's passive, and giving Blitz a bit more payoff for auto-attacking, ultimately leading to August Browning finally hitting Challenger. Tahm Kench. The goal here is to make TK less of an action stopper and very high elo and pro, while also making him a playable support pick for the average player. On our current direction makes TK slow while devouring an ally, like when he devours an enemy, to put a bit of power out of coordinated saves. To compensate, we're buffing his Q slow and making Devour spit minions cost less so that he can use it more. ZAC. We're currently testing a mostly reverted version of the ult with a few improvements to help it have more clear gameplay and understandable impact. Aatrox. He has still been too hard to counter at high level and pro play, which really hurts his playability for normal players. Our current changes make his ult revive only active if he gets a takedown, while his ult is active to remove his reliability to deny his own death. Let me reread that sounded really bad. Our current changes make his ult revive only activatable if he gets a takedown, while his ult is active to remove his reliable ability to deny his own death. No, I guess I read that right, okay. To compensate, we're buffing his baseline stats and exploring some other spicy additions. And one of those spicy additions that was originally on the PvE is while he's ulting, his Q would have no cooldown. So while it necessarily isn't the attack speed Aatrox of old, basically while you were ulted, you just would constantly swing your sword around with the Q combo over and over. It'd be like Riven kind of a thing, but with Aatrox, right? I don't want to make that comparison because that was a dumb comparison people made when the champ came out, but in terms of like how much cooldown they would have and how much sword swinging they would do, it almost would be like, you know, if you had built attack speed on Aatrox, it was just swinging around your sword a bunch while you're ulting, and that actually had some positive feedback from some players on the PvE. So that might be some of the spicy additions they're talking about. So it looks like ZAC though, there'll be people that want ZAC reverted, and I'm not necessarily sure why, because I don't play enough ZAC to really have an opinion, or I shouldn't, I guess, have an opinion because I don't really play a lot of ZAC. But this might be something in the direction that those players might actually like, so they don't come to Blastoise's stream, run it down mid when he keeps saying revert ZAC, even when Blau says, look, if you stop feeding, I'll look at reverting ZAC. But you know, to each their own. But anyways, yes, that's a board post. I'll put a link to the description I'll put a link in the description down below if you want to read it yourself. But that's basically what they're planning on doing. It looks like a ZAC REVERT, some Aatrox spicy changes, the jungles, maybe jungle difference isn't a thing anymore, so I don't have to hit all chat and say open jungle because the jungle is just over. So that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification, the actual subscribe button. But I don't know which video will be next, because life can have a lot of kinks. So until next time, take care. GG, get jinxed. Thank you for watching, and enjoy pizza responsibly.